November 2017, your panic attack. It's third quarter, timeouts called. Take me to that moment and what happened from there.
Yeah, I mean, it was scary. I was, just trying to catch my breath in a huddle. I'd gotten up and, Ty Lue asked me if I was okay, and I just could not catch my breath, and my heart just continued to race and to race. And, it's like I could look down and see my chest, like almost having convulsions. And no, I had to, because I'm in front of these almost 24,000 people, I'm like, I'm not about to have this moment here. And every time I'd felt something like that in the past, I always had somewhere to go, or it manifested in anger or rage in such a big way. But I just went to the locker room. I'm like, all right, where do I need to go? I'm searching for something that's not there. I can't catch my breath. My mind is racing. So I ended up on the floor of my head athletic trainer's, Steve Spiro, his office. Feel like something stuck in my throat, and I thought I was, really having, a cardiac episode and having a heart attack. And from people that I've talked to and spoken with about it, they share a lot of similarities in how they experience it. And on top of that, I'm just leaking sweat. So that was a really scary moment where I ended up with oxygen. Went to the Cleveland Clinic afterwards, and everything checked out. They ran all the tests, and I thought to myself, like, what the hell just happened then? Like, what's going on? I think that was the first time where I said, okay, I've put off getting help for so long. I've told very few people, what's been going on with me all these years. So, okay, now it's time to really consider the dude in the mirror and get some help.
When you were actually in that, were you concerned for your life?
Yes. It's funny. It's I shouldn't say funny, but it's at that moment, like, I get anxiety and pit in my stomach thinking about it now, but it was just scary. I mean, I think the fact that it was such a public setting and I didn't want anybody to see, that's what really made it like something where it was almost like, I feel like I'm gonna die, and maybe if everybody's gonna find out, maybe it's not the worst thing. So it was like a slippery slope for me.
Why were you so concerned about other people finding out?
Because these are just things that you don't share, especially, in terms of gender lines too. Like, as a man, these are things like I was taught or grew up, even outside of my family, you just did not expose. Like, you don't share this stuff. So, for these guys that are supposed to trust me day in and day out, if they know that I'm dealing with stuff in my brain and my mind every way, they're not gonna be able to trust me, and it's gonna affect my livelihood. And on a national scale, so worried that people would look at me different and think that, I was weak, or that, I was somebody that either couldn't be trusted, or, it would make me not fit in, or, just there was so many things that were going through my brain at the time that I think even made it even worse.
When was the last time you had a really bad episode?
The anxiety component is just something that I live with every day. It's something that I've tried to change my relationship with, and I think, there's different philosophies and people that look at medication a different way, but I think medication has helped save my life in a big way, not only from the anxiety component, but depression component as well. I think CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, has really helped me, and my therapist has really helped me to where now it's almost like, growth sessions.
Why have you said one of the best days of your life happened after you started going through therapy?
Because now I get to be unapologetically myself. Like, I just am who I am. And I have these real flaws and these, things about myself that I'm not necessarily proud of, but I deal with on a daily basis. And, in playing all my cards, that was the scariest thing that I likely did in my life. I think that's just allowed me to be so comfortable in my own skin, and I got to be myself truly for the first time, probably in my entire life. And you get to change the narrative in your brain about, things that you've suffered from and thought about and suffered about for so long. And I think that can be extremely rewarding and extremely profound as you move forward. I never thought I'd be sitting here talking about this if you would have told me this 5-10 years ago, but it's something that I'm extremely passionate about.
Tell about the Grandma Carol conversation.
You know, I was in Mexico City. We were supposed to play, Greg Popovich and the Spurs down there, and she, had got sick, had plaque go up to her brain, and was in a coma and died a few days later, and I never got to see her before she passed. So for me, I never really went through the grieving process, and I have a photo of her, right next to my desk in my office in my apartment, and it says, I can't wait to see you again. I have so much to tell you. And I think that was a tough part for me because she was a very special woman who lived next to us for, my entire, formative years of my life.
But so what was it about that conversation with the therapist that impacted you?
I think just having a better understanding of myself and allowing myself not only to grieve, but to be vulnerable in front of somebody, and just open my mind up to somebody who was me, being so closed off to therapy for so long. So I thought, this, and it doesn't always work the first time around, or selecting or finding a therapist that works, but thankfully for me, it did, and I was able to get a lot out of it.
Explain the importance of keeping your mind occupied in a healthy way and what you do.
I think keeping your mind occupied and on a steady path and continuing to grow can really put depression from that aspect at bay. And finding balance, I think those being present and finding balance are probably two of the hardest things in life, and that's something that I think we all struggle with, but I think it's a major component when it comes to mental health, because you can only take care of right now. Like, yes, it can set you up for the future, it can heal things from the past, you can learn things from the past, but all we have is right now and the decisions we make.